A salesman knocks at your door to sell a robot. You politely decline and shut the door. The salesman then starts a fire in your backyard. You run out of the house and find him smiling, this time with a bouquet of roses and the robot. The salesman tells you the robot can quickly douse the fire in your backyard. The roses are complimentary. What will you do? This is the story of a country that once built the global order and is now the world's #1 exporter of disorder. Here's what that shadow looks like in your life right now. You are seated on a sofa in Brazil or India. You get a notification. Your job has been made redundant. Nobody called, nobody warned you. That's American AI. You walk into a grocery store in Geneva. Your weekly shop costs more than last week. Nobody announced it. Nobody voted for it. That's the tariff war. And your wallet is the battlefield. You pull into a gas station in Texas. Prices are up. Somewhere in the Middle East, a conflict you didn't choose. That's not foreign policy. That's the cost of empire. And you're footing the bill. 3 invisible weapons deployed simultaneously, felt everywhere. AI is not about the future, it's about who builds a system and who pays for it. America's population growth is slowing. Not by accident, the system first created demand for robots by slamming the door on immigrants.
We're millions of people short in labor today.
Europe is struggling with the same labor crisis. But in India and the global south, the problem runs in the opposite direction: surplus labor. The gig workforce in India is expected to triple between 2020 and 2030, from 7.7 million to a staggering 23.5 million. Your gig economy was the first extraction. AI is the second. The anxiety isn't irrational. The threat is real. The system is working exactly the way it was designed. The empire needs AI to fill its pockets. The subjects bear the brunt. Even within the empire, the elite are cornering the lion's share of every dollar AI generates. And the man who manages $14 trillion, more than half of it, the retirement savings of teachers, firefighters, and union workers, now wants you to invest with him in AI. Fewer workers, maximum profits. The robot took your job. Now you are being told to invest in the robot. Roses complimentary. Sound familiar? Empires don't rely on a single weapon, especially when the problem is $39 trillion debt. So when Donald Trump returned to the White House for a second time, his goal was clear: tariff the world, reduce America's debt. April 2025, the US President marked Liberation Day. 10% universal tariffs plus individual duties on different countries. Average tariff rate hit 18%, the highest since the Great Depression. Governments from Beijing to New Delhi to Paris to Ottawa left scrambling. Supply chains in disarray, threats, scheduling, deals, economic agreements hurriedly finalized. Decades of global trust evaporated. Then in Feb 2026, the Supreme Court ruled many of Trump's previous tariffs illegal. Within hours, new tariffs, different laws, same weapon. A senior US official told India at the Raisina dialogue, America won't let India grow the way China did. India's foreign minister was unambiguous. India's rise will be determined by India, not by the mistakes of others. The salesman's mask off. Client now suspicious. A few years ago it was China +1. After this, it's clearly America +1. When technology and sanctions fail to do the job, the salesman brings in his armada. Now you're locked. The fire has spread beyond your backyard. The salesman is at the door. The solution is on the table. The same question arises: what will you do? But there's a problem. This time, you're not alone. In his bid to sell the robot and the subsequent backyard fire, the salesman unknowingly set the whole world on fire.
And there is no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication.
And his friends feel the heat.
ये चुनौतियां आर्थिक भी हैं, नेशनल सिक्योरिटी से जुड़ी भी हैं और मानवीय भी हैं.
Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, or Iran, American taxpayers somehow find themselves funding wars they didn't elect. The defense contracts were signed before the first missile launched. The salesman changes every 4 years. The corporation continues its work. What's different in 2026 is that the salesman's aggressive pitch didn't land the way he expected. AI was hurting white-collar workers. Tariffs destroyed the trust. War tested the limits of cooperation. The empire is desperate, and desperate empires are the most dangerous kind. The global citizen is living in fear of loss of limb and livelihood, fear of an inability to support the next generation, fear of loss of dignity. A vast majority still lives under dictatorial governments, yet democracy too ends up producing instruments of coercion. The robot takes many shapes and forms. The salesman keeps smiling, but you cannot threaten the customers forever. At some point, the world stops buying the robot.